Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Sayyid Sajjad Haider Rizvi, Senior Subject Specialist English at Divisional Public School and College Sahiwal. Let's start our today's lesson. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, in the previous lesson, you enjoyed the reading and translation of unit number 7, Sultan Ahmed Masjid. Moreover, you answered the textual questions with the help of the text. In today's lesson, we are going to cover the remaining exercise. We shall find the synonyms of some words, antonyms of some vocabulary. We shall find the complete meanings of some abbreviations. We shall use the adverbs in sentences, and at the end we shall discuss the different uses of present perfect continuous tense. Let's begin with the synonyms. Synonyms, as you know, are the words having the similar meanings. There are some words taken from the text, and we shall find their synonyms. The first word is embellish. Synonym is decorate. Number 2, integrate, and the synonym is to complete. Third word is splendor, and the synonym is grandeur. Fourth, majesty, synonym greatness. Fifth, illuminate, and the synonym is brighten. Now we come to the antonyms of some words. The exercise requires encircling the correct antonyms from the given choices of the underlined words. Number 1, the Sultan Ahmed Masjid is one of the most impressive monuments of the world. And the choices are ugly, unimpressive, and remarkable. So it is obvious that antonym, or the word having opposite meaning of impressive, is unimpressive. It is neither ugly nor remarkable. Number 2, situated in Istanbul, the largest city in Turkey. And the choices are smallest, greatest, populated. Neither greatest nor populated convey the negative meaning of largest. So the correct option is smallest. Number 3, a heavy iron chain is hung at the upper part of the court entrance on the western side. Heavy is the word which has been underlined, and the choices are big, bold, and light. Both big and bold do not convey the negative sense of heavy. So light is the correct antonym. Number 4, the upper part of the interior is adorned with blue paint. And the options are lower, outer, and higher. The correct antonym of upper is lower. Neither outer nor higher has the negative meaning of upper. Number 5, the floors are covered with carpets. Options are spread, exposed, decorated. When we reflect upon all the choices, we come to The conclusion that the correct antonym of covered is exposed, neither spread nor decorated. Now there are some words taken from the text and we have used them in meaningful sentences. Keep it in mind that these are only model sentences for you. I expect every one of you to make your own sentences. The first word is impressive. He showed impressive performance in studies. Number two, dexterously. Dexterously means skillfully. A painter uses the colors dexterously. Number three, spacious, wide. We have a spacious lawn in our house. Humility. Humility is an appreciable virtue. To be think very little of oneself, it is humility. Number five, flamboyant. Flamboyant, showy, bright. The guests were wearing flamboyant dresses at the party. Now we come to the abbreviations. But before we discuss the abbreviations that are commonly used and their complete meanings, let me tell you that contracted or shortened form of words or phrases is called abbreviation. Now let's look at some commonly used abbreviations and find what they stand for. USA. It is known to everyone, United States of America. UK, United Kingdom. UAE, United Arab Emirates. ICU, Intensive Care Unit. MBBS, it stands for Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. PhD, this stands for Doctor of Philosophy. MPhil, Master of Philosophy. PAF, Pakistan Air Force. NADRA, acronym made by using the first letters of some words, and it stands for National Database and Registration Authority. UN, United Nations. There are some more abbreviations. WAPDA, it is also an acronym. It stands for Water and Power Development Authority. PCTB, Punjab Curriculum and Textbook Board. MNA, Member of the National Assembly. MPA, Member of the Provincial Assembly. IMF, International Monetary Fund. WHO, World Health Organization. WTO, World Trade Organization. UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. UNICEF, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. These were the abbreviations. And now we are going to discuss different adverbs and their positions. All the adverbs are not used at the same position in a sentence. For example, she came here, and we are to use the adverb often. Often is the adverb of frequency and it is always used before the verb. So the right place of often is before came. She often came here. He goes to Lahore. Sometimes is the adverb to be used. Sometimes he goes to Lahore. Sometimes is used before the sentence as an introductory word. Number 3. The teacher was late. Hardly ever is the adverb, and the teacher was hardly ever late. It will describe the adjective late and it will be used before the adjective. We are tired by the end of the day. Usually. Usually is also an adverb of frequency. We are usually tired by the end of the day. I have posted a letter to them. Just is the adverb to be used. I have just posted a letter to them. He did his work carefully. Carefully is the adverb of manner, so it will be used at the end of the sentence after the main verb. He did his work carefully. Now we come to the degrees of adverbs. Keep it in mind that like adjectives, adverbs have also three degrees: positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. So, if positive degree is kept much, comparative will be kept more, and superlative degree will be kept most. Sang beautifully is the positive degree, comparative degree sang more beautifully, and superlative degree sang most beautifully. Slept little is the positive degree, comparative degree slept less, and superlative degree is slept least. Positive degree looked good when we mention only one thing or a person, and when a thing or a person is compared, we use look better, and the superlative degree is look best. Positive degree is arrived early, comparative degree is arrived earlier, and superlative degree is arrived earliest. Now we shall use some adverbs, their positive, comparative, and superlative degrees in sentences so as to clear the concept of degrees of adverbs. The first adverb is kept much. It is the positive degree. The sentence will be he kept much quieter in the class. You must have noticed that only one person has been mentioned, kept more. He kept more silent than usual at the party. So, two different situations have been compared. Kept most. He kept most silent of all at the party. One person has been compared to everyone. Sang beautifully. She sang beautifully last evening. Sang more beautifully is the adverb of manner in comparative degree. She sang more beautifully than her sister. She has been compared with her sister. So we have used comparative degree of adverb. Sang most beautifully. She sang most beautifully of all the girls. Slept little. The patient slept little last night. Slept less. Comparative degree. The old man slept less than others. Slept least. Superlative degree. The baby slept least of all the members of family. Looked good. He looked good after taking rest. Comparative degree looked better. The patient looked better than before. Looked best. He looked best of all in that dress. Arrived early. The guest arrived early. Arrived earlier is the comparative degree. He arrived earlier than I. Arrived earliest, superlative degree. Ahmed arrived earliest of all his friends. And now we come to the last segment of grammar, that is present perfect continuous tense. First, we look at the sentence structure in the present perfect continuous tense. First of all, we use the subject, then there is either has or have as an auxiliary verb, then auxiliary verb been, and we add ing to the main form of verb, that is called present participle. There are basically two uses of the present perfect continuous tense. Number one, it describes an action that has just stopped or recently stopped. We use the present perfect continuous tense to talk about an action that started in the past and stopped recently. Examples are, I am tired now because I have been running. Number two, why is the grass wet? Has it been raining? You don't understand because you haven't been listening. So look at the words in bold. I have been running. Has it been raining? Haven't been listening. All these are actions that started in the past and stopped recently. Number two, an action continuing up to now. We use the present perfect continuous tense to talk about an action that started in the past and is continuing now. This is often used with for or since. With reference of time, we use these two prepositions for and since. We often use for and since with the present perfect continuous tense. And we use for to talk about a period of time. There is no specific time, 5 minutes, 2 weeks, 6 years, 3 days. There is no definite time. And if the specific time or definite time is mentioned, we use since. So we use since to talk about a point in past time. For example, 9 o'clock, 1st January, Monday. Examples, I have been reading for 2 hours. It means this is an action which started in the past and is still continuing. He is still reading, I am still reading now. Number two, we have been studying since 9 o'clock. We are still studying now. The action of studying started at 9 o'clock and is continuing up to now. For how long have you been learning English? You are still learning now. And at the same time, you must have noticed that with 2 hours we have used the preposition for. 9 o'clock is the point of time, a specific time, definite time, so we have used the preposition since. How long? It is a period of time, so we have used the preposition for. Now, at the end, there is an exercise for the use of since and for. Let me see how far you have grasped this concept of period of time and point of time. Sentence number 1 is I have been studying 3 hours. So we don't know which 3 hours have been mentioned. So the correct option is for. I have been watching TV 7 p.m. It is a specific time. So the correct option is since. Tara hasn't been feeling well 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a period of time, so the correct option is for. Tara hasn't been visiting us March. March is a specific month, so the preposition is since. He has been playing football a long time. It is a period of time, so for is the correct preposition. The last sentence is he has been living in Bangkok. He left the school. He left the school is a specific time, a point of time, so the correct preposition will be since. He has been living in Bangkok since he left the school. I hope you must have understood all the items of vocabulary and grammar discussed today. The assignment for you is to make 10 sentences of present perfect continuous tense, 5 with the preposition since, and 5 sentences with the preposition for. Thank you very much.